This is the 100th episode of Brainbox, the leadership podcast. Welcome. And today I have a very special guest with me, Arpita. She's a serial wellness entrepreneur and, of course, is also my wife for 16 years. We've built multiple businesses together. So, very warm welcome to the show, Arpita.
Thank you very much. It was a nice introduction. 16 years is a long time, and we have learned so many things that we are here to share with you.
One thing, of course, this is also our first outdoor shooting that's happened in these 100 episodes. So we have this entire knack of doing something different. And what many people will not know is that you are the entire brains that have gone behind it. In fact, there's a very interesting anecdote I want to also share is that this podcast itself wouldn't have happened without you because just after the previous, when we came out of our venture in 21, so you gifted me a microphone for our anniversary, which was in September. And you said, just start shooting and just stay busy and give me some peace of mind. So that's essentially how it started, but that's how it went on. Of course, we were voted 9th Pan India by Spotify in 22, which put us on a different tangent, of course, altogether. So to talk about you specifically, how exactly is it? Because you've now been into the video content space for a long time. You are a wellness influencer as well. You've got 2.5 million Instagram reel views in 24. You build your YouTube channel publicly from 1 to 10,000 subscribers in just 95 days. So how did you really develop this knack of the video production?
So, I'm being very creative from childhood. Reading was not my very strong forte, as you can say. But I have always loved the way things are put into perspective through video and images. And because it intrigued me, so I made myself more aware and learned the way of doing the right kind of video and what works where. So all that, but basically I have a very creative side, which is and video and imaging really compelled towards that.
Interesting. So while I gave the origin story of the podcast, and if I have to go back to your, not exactly origin, but something I think from what we have discussed is a very formative time in your life. So you, of course, lost your father very early, I think class 10.
Yeah, I was 16.
Yes. So how do you think that really shaped who you are today?
So it was sudden and we were not ready for it as a family. But there was something that was always the back of my mind, that the show must go on. And I was at a very critical time in my education, in my school life. So it was expected of me that I should not stop. My then tutor, he was like, you are going to continue this year, right? You are not going to drop it. And I was like, yes, I'm not going to drop it, because what happened has happened. It is beyond my control. I cannot do anything about it. Even though I was grieving in my own way, but I did not want to just drop a year. It was a complete chaos at home. So, and my board exams were just around the corner. So I used to go to some other houses of relatives or family friends and just study there, because the house was in a very chaotic fashion. So somehow I managed to pull through and went through, because I feel even my father wouldn't have wanted me to drop the year. He was a very positive person. He was very carefree, brave, bold, because he also left his comfort zone and moved to Varanasi and that time when it was nothing. There was no population. It was a lot of it was a graveyard. It was still constructing, and times were very simple, very less people, and it was a new venture for him. But he left his comfort, his home, and came here. And maybe this is one of the things that drives me to go to new places and learn new things and grow in the process. So this particular incident made me stronger in a sense, like nothing can stop me. And I wanted to just go out and explore everything, to have a new experience everywhere. So in my life, as you know, that we have left our comfort zone like multiple times and gone to a new place and started everything from scratch. It is scary, but there is a different kind of fun in doing that. In going to a new place, finding new things, you are on a treasure hunt. And what you find is your treasure. It might be new business, it might be new experience, you never know. So my father's death definitely has a very, very strong impact on.
So, the point you mentioned, right? So, you were, of course, one of the key reasons that we moved to Dubai when everything was very well set in Gurgaon. Working with IBM, you were just 6 months away from getting promoted to a very, very senior role in eValue Serve. So, for example, when the Dubai thing came up, I believe 99% of the people would have said, let's not move because parents are in the same building, everything is set, everyone knows you, you know you are in the job market. So this was in 2011. So when you decided or when you were recommending that move, what exactly was your thought process then?
When this opportunity came in, I was like, it's a global exposure. It's a new experience. Maybe I move around in India, meet people who are Indians and learn from them. Leaving your nest is the best thing you can do. You will learn so many things on the ground, and you will be thankful that you did that. But leaving India was different because you're going in a foreign country. You don't know what kind of welcome you will get, how you will be treated. A lot of my other friends used to say that because we are Indian in Dubai, we have been treated in like a second-grade citizen. But frankly speaking, it depends from person to person. I did not feel anything like that. I have worked with a German boss. My other boss was Egyptian, and we were very, very friendly and very close. And a lot of my friends were Arabs, and they were all very nice to me. I was very nice to them, and it was a complete harmony. I don't know, maybe people have higher expectations and which is not met, and that is when they complain. But apart from that, going to other city, other country gives you a very wide perspective of how people think and what people do. It was there where I saw that people are so careful about their health. Everybody is jogging, everybody is working out. People somehow make time for it.
We've seen so many of the foreigners there actually pushing the prams with their
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, prams, newborn babies, they're running, the mothers are running. It was an eye-opening. In India, I could not even imagine.
True.
Because in India, if you have a baby, you rest.
True.
So there you see the other side of the world. On top of that, working with other people, you learn their perspectives. And it was a great opportunity, and that's why I pushed you that we should go. It is a golden opportunity. Go out, meet people, meet new people, open your mind. This is what helped us open our mind to different thought process, a different style of leadership, different style of working culture. So I wouldn't have ever missed. Even if I get it today, I would again move. So that is my mantra. Keep moving.
Absolutely. When anyone sees you today, I think the first thing they see, including me, is calm and clarity. So, what do you think really led you in your life to become this kind of a person who's so lucid with your thoughts, approach? At the same time, you have this experience saying, we'll take things away. So you don't want to structure things 30 years into the future, yet you have this thing where you are ready to take the next challenge head on.
There's there's a famous line. If you want to crack a joke with God, just say I have plans. Because whatever you plan, God or Almighty has some other plan. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So why worry about future? You plan only things that you can control. You learn, you gather knowledge, you become fit because your body is also something that you have to think for your future. You can control your body, you can control your diet, you can control yourself. But what is around you, you cannot control. So that was one reason I have never planned for future. It was always, we'll see what will happen. This is how I'll go. I'll give my 100% to whatever I'm doing. And result is immaterial. It may be in my favor, maybe not in my favor. I'll deal with it. But that is how I see it. And that gives me the clarity that I don't have to rush into things.
The most unique things that I have genuinely witnessed about you is that you don't have, especially in India, but this is also a global phenomenon. It's always log kya kahenge. So it's what people will think about me, what people will say about me. And I can genuinely say that you are one of those people who absolutely do not give a rat's ass. So this is, I think, a massive shift, and I still don't find people doing it, but have seen the value of it. So why don't you share what exactly led you to having this, and why do you think it's so critical for people to actually believe in this mantra?
There are few things that I don't compromise at all. Trust, honesty, of course. But I cannot change myself for someone to like me. Because if I do that, I am stopping my growth. For example, if you plant a sapling and if you give too much water to it and you don't give light, sunlight or air or anything, so you are just giving one element to that plant. But a personality growth only happens if you are open or if you have all the aspect of growing. As a sapling, I need water, I need soil, I need sunlight, I need fresh air, everything. Similarly, a personality needs to grow in its own way. You cannot force it uh, to be somebody. Because if, for example, if I'm an introvert, no matter how many parties I attend, and no matter how many friends I have, I will not want to connect with them at a very honest level. It will be all be a pretend. And if you are pretending, trust me, it is a very, very, very heavy emotional stress on yourself. So, because I'm into wellness, and for some reason I had been for a very long time, I would not change myself for anybody because I don't want the other person to change themselves for me. Being true is the right attitude, because if you are true, you will find people who will like you as you are and they are true to you. So to impress somebody, it might happen in a little bit in romantic relationship, but in that also will fade off after some time. But to pretend to be somebody else, you are just putting unnecessary emotional stress on yourself. And because if you're putting too much unnecessary emotional stress on yourself, eventually a burnout will happen, because you are too stressed. You have to be like this, you have to behave like that. If you're thinking all that thing, you are putting your mind is occupied with all this thought, then you will not be able to think of what way I can grow. So you're suppressing that element. So it's always to be yourself.
Of course, you've been a certified yoga instructor for nearly 2 decades now, a certified sports nutritionist. You've got lots of nutrition clients whom you've actually changed their entire lifestyle also. And of course, now for quite a while, you've been into strength training as well. So how critical is wellness for a leader or for even a person in general?
People think I'm young, I can do anything. Yes, you can, but maybe for 5 years or so. Because if you are not focusing on wellness and exercise, diet, sleep, your body will break eventually. And you will be paying huge bills in the hospital, which I don't think anybody wants. And for leaders specifically, because they have a lot of pressure on them from everybody, their family, their employees, upper management. So leaders needs to have that place where they can decompress and focus on what matters actually. So wellness is 100% critical for leaders. They have to have a clarity of thought, right focus to deal with all the situation that they are dealing with.
And what are the critical aspects of wellness as a whole that the person or be it a leader or a normal person should adopt?
80% of your entire body is made in the kitchen. So you have to focus on the food that you're eating, the amount that you're consuming. The exercise is second best important thing. The amount of movement they're doing in a day, 8 to 10,000 steps a day, is integral. You have to do it if you want to stay healthy in your life. Strength training is very important because your muscles are what will make you stand when you are at the age of 80. So most of the old people get like this. This is because they don't have muscle strength. They don't have power in your body. Muscle training is so important. There are so many factors. Your metabolism will increase. Your fat percentage will drop if you have very good muscle mass in your body. That doesn't mean that you have to beef up, but you need to have strength in your body. And that's why the protein is important, the fat is important, all these things are important. Carb you can control. You have to really, I feel carb should be reduced. In Indian diet, carb is like the 80% of it is carb. So you have to change your diet if you want to really live a healthy life.
How important, like within the diet itself? So people, what about the protein aspect of it? So this is something that has been coming up, and now we're seeing, of course, an overuse of it in India, especially with everyone proteinizing everything. But still, how critical is protein to the diet?
Protein is the building block of your entire body system. So you need to have 1 to 1.2 grams per pound every day
Of your body weight.
of your body weight. So if, for example, my body weight is 60 kgs, so I need to have about 90 to 95 grams of protein every day. You have to have about 30 to 40 grams of protein in each of your meal to reach your target.
So you're also into DNA testing, and also you have a partnership with a DNA testing company, and which we'll be announcing soon. But what I understand is that one of the key reasons that the infertility is also going up right now in the country is primarily around PCOS. So what exactly is that, and why is it becoming such a norm in India right now?
So PCOS is not a norm in India only, it is worldwide. The reason being PCOS is directly linked with insulin resistance. So if you have high insulin in your body and your body is not able to process it, you will have PCOS. And if you have PCOS, you will face infertility issues. And the best way to tackle PCOS, it is tried and tested, I have tested on myself, is you have to control your insulin. You have medicines, but you can do it naturally also. And that is where the fasting comes in. So fasting makes your body work in a way that it gets to reset. Because when you are not having too much food, your body is resting, the organs are resting, and at a particular time your organs and yourself will say, oh, where's the food? There's no food. Oh, there is no food coming. They will get into a saving mode, and they will try and release that insulin from your body. Oh, we don't have food, we have to release that extra insulin that I have in my body. And apart from that, your diet has to be protein rich. So you have to have ketobiotic diet, which is basically protein, and ketobiotic because you're also having carbs from vegetables. or soups. So vegetables, eat a lot of veggies, salads and all, and apart from that, have that protein with it. But ketobiotic is you can have all those, but basically you have to control your carb intake. You cannot go more than 50 grams a day.
But do these kind of multiple diets actually help? I mean, you can see so many people doing a keto diet one day and then stopping after a week or about 15 days. And most of them, more often than not, come back saying that we have put on more weight because they couldn't go through. So, do these diets really work?
So, diet specifically is generally a fad. It comes and goes. People think I'll go on a juice diet, I'll go on a water diet, I will go on a keto diet. But the thing is, you are not supposed to remove a particular food category from your body. You are supposed to have it because because that particular thing will have some minerals, some advantages, some positive. For example, people say that carbohydrates are bad, but not all carbohydrate is bad. Complex carb is very good. Complex carb has minerals, protein also, and they have lots of fiber, which you will not get in simple carbs. You are supposed to avoid simple carbs, white bread, maida, white rice, because they don't offer anything except empty calories. The more you have it, the more you feel hungry, because there's nothing, it will just disappear. There is a famous saying, French fries on your lips and it stays lifetime on your hips. So that's why I'm not saying not to have those, but maybe once in a month. So you need to have a mindset that, okay, I will have this today, but enough. I just had it, it's done. Don't try to force too much on yourself. If you think too much, if you force too much, it should come naturally. A diet, in the same way, diet also should come naturally. It should be easy to make and it should be regular. So you are able to eat the same things for your entire life. So diet has to be simple so that you can stick to it.
Let's talk about fasting because you are a huge proponent of it. How important is fasting?
So fasting has very different opinion attached to it. Of course, in India, we have fasting related to religion, but science says fasting is really good if you want to cleanse your entire body of all the toxins that are building up in your body. And the main thing that you should understand is you should not force it. You are supposed to start slow, but minimum 12 hours of fasting between your dinner and your breakfast is critical. People say, I cannot do fasting, I will not do it. But you will not believe the advantages. I have done it myself. I've been doing it for more than 2 years now, and it has done wonders to my body. You have much more mental clarity. You will be able to work very fast, smoothly. It rewires your brain if you do fasting. So there are the different type of fasting. You have normal intermittent fasting, which is 16 to 8, basically 8 hours of eating and 16 hours of fasting. Then you have 24 hours of fasting, which is good for gut reset. 36 hours of fast, which is good for fat burn. And then you have 3-day water fast, which is generally done if you have a chronic disease or anything. But there are lots of conditions to do that because it is 3-day water fast and no workout. You have to have a different type of food to break that fast. These kind of fasts are available for every individual to do. But on a regular basis, one can definitely do 16 to 8 or 12 to 14 hours every day.
So just to let you guys know, for 2026, one of our core focus areas is on wellness. And in fact, Arpita will be co-hosting or even hosting wellness founders and wellness entrepreneurs on her own, or we could do it jointly. But Brainbox will be moving not just for leadership, but for also around wellness, because it is a very, very quick synergy that is there between them, and it's something that is required, especially in this age. So Coming back to the point around the entrepreneurship business, we built 7 businesses together ourselves. And you've, of course, been into the wellness side of it. So you've run salons, you franchise salons, you've been into the D2C part of it, making the products. You've run an interior designing company as well. Uh, so, what exactly do you feel when it comes to entrepreneurship? Because now, in this day and age, when people are, many of them are thinking that, let's just take the plunge and go into the entrepreneurship journey. What is the basic criteria that people should have in their mind that these are the core things without which I shouldn't get into entrepreneurship and corporate life will be better?
Looking at the current scenario, if somebody is just thinking that corporate life is better, I think they should think twice, because you never know if you have the job tomorrow or not. With the insurgence of AI, one need to have a fallback. First thing is that they should definitely study the market. That is very, very important. Who are the competitors? They should have a runway that they can burn, because you will not be cash positive from the very first day. So research is integral. Research and planning is very, very important to get into a business. You cannot just take the plunge just like that because you are feeling today that I can do something.
When it comes to the entrepreneurship itself, but a husband-wife duo has multiple advantages, according to me. I am a very, very big believer. We, in fact, have clients also who are husband-wife, and I have seen the synergy that happens between them is usually very different compared to just people who have met in one of these founder functions or something. At the same time, I know that you've had your apprehensions as well in the past. So, what's your feel about husband-wife duos, entrepreneurship duos?
Interesting topic. So I have my apprehensions because I don't think that the husband and wife should work in the same company. It is better to have your own circle and they have their own circle, because they are work friends, and so you discuss your work problems with them. On the contrary, going into a business with your husband or your wife is a very wise decision, considering your partner is capable. Because the very first point is that you know each other in and out for a longer time. Trust is there, and because you have trust, the decision will be fair. And if husband and wife are going into a business, they should not take each other for granted. They should be going in as equals, and each one should value the opinion the other person has. Because if you don't have mutual respect in a relationship, be it partnership, be it husband wife, or be it anything, if you don't have mutual respect, it will not last ever. And in business, it is very important. If you have difference of opinion, you discuss that out, but you have to have your voice heard, and you have to air your opinion and your thoughts and everything. Because if you're not thinking aloud, you will not be able to get a solution out of it.
I'm one of those people who would love to, if I'm passionate or something is happening because of probably the sales. So if the adrenaline rush comes in and you're working nonstop and you find it very hard to just dissociate. And I have seen and learned this from you over the time is that you are able to actually do that. So what is the secret behind being able to switch off from work?
In short, the mantra that I follow is work hard, party harder. But again, there also a thing that is called time management. So you have to have this thing that I will work. I will make sure that I finish this work within this time. And after that, I'm off. And if I'm off, I'm off. And in corporate life, you can do it, maybe not in sales, but in operations, you could do that, because that is where the thing of boundaries come in. You need to have boundaries in work also. You cannot keep on working all the time. Your boss, your manager should know, and you should make them know. Unless it is something very, very critical and time related, where you can make an exception. That is completely fine. I'm making an exception because it is urgent. That shows that I'm serious about my work, but my personal growth, my personal health, my personal time is very important. And having your own space is really important, because that is when you, as an employee or as a person, you will decompress. Because if you don't have your own time, your mind will not get the break. And if your mind is not getting the break, you will not be as alert or as focused as you want to be at work. So to decompress is very important, unwinding is very important, and that's why meditation is also important, and that is how the wellness part of that is very important. You have to decompress so that you can be your best in your work. So that is one thing I totally believe, and that is one reason that if I'm decompressing, I am not there. Get out of the city, go to some place quiet, decompress, and come back to work with full force.
A key component I just want to touch here is also around consistency. So we averaged around 2 episodes every month. And that's how we've reached the 100th episode.
Correct.
And which I think is very integral, which is something, again, people miss. We actually had a client who came back saying that I want to record an episode, a few episodes, and I want 10,000 followers in a span of 6 months. And I think consistency is a trait that people heavily miss, because that's where the effort comes in. So everybody wants it easy and they want it today.
Consistency is very important. We have seen it working for us and for a lot of our clients. In marketing, there is an analogy that says, "जो दिखता है, वो बिकता है." So if you are a thought leader, you need to put your thought across so that people will know that you're a thought leader. How will you put that thought across? You write a post, you write a carousel, you make a video. This is how you will communicate with the audience. But I will not do so much, I will just do one, and that should be enough. That is where the expectation management comes. So this is all everyday work that you have to put in. Consistency is key, and of course, you have, if you are collaborating with somebody who is doing that job for you, then you have to believe what they are saying and understand that they are coming from that background and they know what they are doing. Understand the main object of doing this activity.
Absolutely. I mean, and I genuinely believe this right from the beginning, because Mark Zuckerberg has always said that market a product when 70% ready.
Correct.
Because if you wait for it to be 100%, is essentially like waiting for all the lights to turn green before you take out your car from your garage. You'll never get out.
Correct.
So I think
even Bill Gates, he has taken up a project when it is not ready, but you take up the project and then you make the thing ready.
Right.
So you need to get the stuff done first, and everything else which is not that important can be done later.
we've actually turned away founders because many of them came to us, and the first question we'd ask is, why do you want to build a personal brand? And they wouldn't have an answer. And which is why we ourselves have told no to people who are ready to pay.
Yeah.
So our meetings will probably last for like 5 minutes. And we say, if you don't know your why, there's no point. And but you can make out that they're trying to still create a why. So
that is true. That is 100% true. A lot of them come with no clear thought in mind that what they want to do. They will sit, they will listen to everything that you have to offer, and then they will think that what can I do? How can I do? So it's better you do that research before. What is it that I want? And what is my primary goal? And then approach people who will help you get that primary goal done. Rather than asking every 10,000 things and then you are getting confused what I'm supposed to do. It's just wasting time for each of us.
perfect. So on this note, thank you so much, Arpita, for...
Thank you for making this possible and inviting me to your podcast. I'm looking forward to more podcasts like this with maybe another founder, and we can have a nice, good chat about life experiences and the things that make a difference. So it was great being in the podcast. So thank you very much.
Thank you.